Hi there, my name is Julian Miller and I'm co-founder and CEO of Learnmetrics. But before that, I was a high school teacher. And I always keep this picture close to my desk because it reminds me of what I learned about data and education from these students. I taught high school, and on my very first day, they walked in as freshmen, and all the information I had about them was name, age, and assigned grade level. And when I thought about that, I realized that they'd been in school for 10 years before stepping into my classroom. That's 10 years of tests, standardized assessments, projects, so on, that could have given me clues as to how to get them across the finish line. And in fact, education's infrastructure has moved decidedly more in the direction of digital since then. And this shift has created billions and billions of data points that should be revolutionizing how we teach and learn. But the sad truth is that it isn't. And it isn't happening because this data is distributed across multiple disparate systems, each with their own opinion. It's too expensive to build software custom to connect all of these various systems. And lastly, all of these systems, when they do touch the data, default to rolling up and reporting instead of rolling down and helping teachers actually improve. And so what happens is, working with data in education is a lot like being an accountant and having somebody dump out a trash bag of receipts the day before taxes are due. And you're expected to, craft some sort of sense out of that. And it just doesn't happen. And so that led us to ask these questions at Learnmetrics. What if every person could access their unique potential through education? If every data point about that learner could guide them toward their individual best? And that's why we built Learnmetrics, a platform with the mission of taking the world's learning data and turning it into fuel for success. Our platform does fundamentally three things with any data sets from any systems. The first is it aggregates. So we're going to pull it into one master database. The second thing it does is it frames the right kind of analysis for these organizations. And what I mean by that is, once you buy a product normally, whatever it was when you bought it is exactly what you're stuck with. So imagine being a school that serves a population of students with severe diagnosed learning disabilities. You put your data into a platform off the shelf and everything goes to red. No students are making progress, no teachers are effective. Well, how do you then go from that to telling the effective story of what's going on in your school? Then, after we have that data and we frame the right kind of analysis, we can actually run intelligent processes on top of it. So what if you could take all of your math products and decide that if a student's grade dropped 5 points or more in a week, they would automatically be moved through response to intervention tiers or multi-tiered systems of support. That's really what Learnmetrics does. And so as we aggregate, analyze, and activate, we're enabling new educator workflows regardless of where they exist or who they benefit inside of this ecosystem. And to date, we're doing pretty well. We have north of 175 customers. In the 5 years we've been a company, we've got 0.27% churn. So once people are in and they learn this vocabulary, they're really all in around this, and this is how they're thinking about navigating toward their goals. And we've generated north of 800,000 insights, and that's doubling year over year. We've also been able to attract fantastic partners like Google for Education. We've used all of this to raise some money from some pretty fantastic investors as well. And as we think about our future, we really want to know what it looks like for us to go from where we are now to north of 10 million in revenue by the end of the year, to launch into international markets, which have been seeking us out for the last couple of years, and lastly, to launch services atop this platform now that people are really starting to understand this different way of working. We'd also love introductions to districts that are wrestling with really tough data problems or vendors who are doing the same thing. We think that if we can create the shared vocabulary and act as a translation layer between, we'll really be able to capitalize on the power of data in education. Thank you very much.